time to work on the header. So we're gonna bring this thing up to the shop. I think we'll pull the nose cones off of it on either side so we can straighten them. And then we'll take the adapter plate off, get some new bolts, and bolt that up the way it should be. Got this antique Farm All H going here. Not by my doing, but it was hooked up to the trailer, so figured we'd take it. Anyways, I think it's probably going to be a decent repair to do in the yard. It shouldn't be too bad. Now that I'm thinking about it, I probably can't take the nose cones off because they probably have weight on them. So we'll start with the adapter and then hopefully get the combines in here tomorrow. Although I won't be here tomorrow, so I don't know what's. Yeah, we're gonna start on something. We got all the bolts out. We're gonna take this off because we got to tune up some stuff in there, and we got to take broken bolts out of here. So it'll just be easier if it's off and out of the way. Make sure everything goes together straight, and then we'll look at the ends. We are working on getting these bottom broken bolts out. I'm trying to drill them and get them out with an easy out, but I may end up having to weld something on there. We'll see how stuck they are. Pretty stuck. I am blown away. We actually got this one. So then we'll see what the other one's like. Maybe we'll get it too. Would you look at that? We got both bolts out, these bottom ones. I had my 3/4 or 1/2 inch bolts through this front one, which is extra. We don't use it, so I didn't care about wrecking those threads. Now we are cutting off these bent corners where the faceplate pushed in. From here out, I welded in a piece of strapping, and this is where the faceplate lines up. So I'll probably just bend this now with this screwed up part. I'm cutting this off as well. Get that back where it needs to be, put the faceplate back on, and then we can see where it lines up and where we should add a piece of strapping, if anything at all. Things were definitely tweaky on that plate, and it bolts off. So now that I have it off, I can put it on a bench, straighten up this corner and this stuff that got all bent on the bottom where it bolts up. We've got things pretty well straightened up, and now we're going back together. We put this back in, it's looking good. So now we're putting this on. I think this was originally like a John Deere case adapter, and now it's for a claws. I was gonna use this to lift this in here, but the loader has a serious hydraulic leak, so I guess we won't be doing that. Now we get to try and manhandle it in, which will be fun, I'm sure. Things are going back together very nicely. We got the bottom 2 bolts in on either side, and we're gonna, now that we've had it apart again and I know better where it sits, we're gonna pivot this faceplate forward more so that we don't have to pivot the angle of the faceplate on the header or on the combine more, if that makes any sense. So we've got it, we went from this hole to this hole, and that should give us enough room, I think, to pick our snouts up a bit more. Alright, we got the adapter plate bolted on with the proper bolts, and it's all straight and it looks really good, and we changed the angle a bit. Now we need to pull it into the shop because we got to weld in some pieces here to fill in this gap. Take care of that, and then this whole area is done. And then we are going to focus on the nose cones, and the game plan is going to be just to unbolt this front triangle and this guard piece, I think, and then we'll probably drill out all these rivets and split it into 2 pieces, and then we can straighten them nicely. Then we'll just rivet it back together. And last time I had these apart, we broke and stripped a bunch of the bolts in here, so we'll weld new nuts on the back and get new bolts here as well. Let's cut the ears off of this thing, because this is what hangs up on my header. I was going to use a grinder, but this is way easier. Beautiful. Beautiful. We got the corners welded in. No more gaps. I think the adapter and everything is good to go now. Let's get started on that. I need to make sure that I have rivets before I start opening those things up though. We are saving any bolts we can, but not many of them are still good. Now, I think this piece, oh no, we're missing one right here. That's our last bolt. This is going very nicely. And that is like the worst of the damage, that nose cone and pan. All this looks really good in here. These are all fine. And I'm thinking likely we will take this one off too. See if we just can't get things a little bit better here, because definitely a little screwed up. We got the dividers off on either side. Now I'm heading to my place and we'll finish this thing up. Hopefully get it in good shape, because we're thinking Monday is the day now. But hey, it's coming along a lot better than I was expecting, and I'm very happy about that. This is a Capello head, and it is made in Italy as well. So I'm guessing 9,400 means 9.4 meters. Because you can get a 12,000, which is a 40-foot head, I think. That would be sweet. Anyways, let's head out. I swear, these people, they have a fence right here. Their animals are always out. Thankfully, we have the crop off, so they're not in our field right now. But they're just chilling. They're having a good time. That one, oh, here we go. Let's not hit you. That's a big one right there. Hi friends, go back home. Right now we're working on getting these nose cone pans straightened out. This one is pretty good shape. I haven't touched it yet. It's quite straight. I got to just do a little bit to the tip. And this one is pretty bad. We've already started, and between a couple of big hammers and a vise, you can massage it pretty good, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's already a lot better. Now, like, there's still a little bit of a kink there, which I want to try and get rid of. But then the big thing is we really got to do something to this point, because it got all kinds of bent and cracked, and yeah, it's not great. We've got it beat pretty well straight, and now we're just using the pair of pliers, and we're just tuning up this point, trying to make it straight, and then we'll clean it up with a grinder and get it welded up. It should be pretty good. We are gonna start welding it together now, close up all the cracks, and then once it's welded, it'll be stronger and I can do a bit more bending. Then we'll take a look at that one. And just like that, this one's pretty dialed in now. Big crack there, and it's fairly straight. I'll try and get this better when it's mounted, but I don't know. It shouldn't matter much. Now we'll do that one. It's looking good. I think the game plan for these, since they are riveted together, you can kind of split them in half. I'm going to drill out the rivets, split them in half, and then I can really work on this, because this is all kinds of screwed up everywhere. And if I can't just lay it flat and go to town, it's going to be bad. And 25 1/4-inch rivets on either one, and it'll be back together, no problem. That's what he always says. It is coming apart nicely and quick. The rivets started spinning on me here, so we'll try and pound them out, and if that doesn't work, we'll get a flap disc on there. And then this thing will be in 2 pieces, and I can work on it. Now we can really get in here and straighten this corner, because it needs to be flat, this whole sheet. And then this is all pushed in, and now it's just super accessible. I think this is the way to go here. Yeah? You think so? All right. That really isn't too bad for 10 minutes of pounding with a hammer. And I don't think I'll be able to get much better than that, but looks pretty good. This one's definitely gonna need some more work, but first thing I did was just got on top of it, started stomping it down. Try and get it close. Obviously where I welded this angle iron on pre-season is the strongest, but yeah. I think we'll probably just straighten it. I don't think I'm gonna cut it off. I am blown away at how we've gotten this thing to curl over and come back to shape, because that thing was like a pancake before. And there's the 4 bends in it that I'm trying to curve with it. We're getting there. It's definitely a lot better than what it was. We got the shields pretty much where we want them. So now we're going to start putting them together, I think. And we're using these 1/4" rivets for the Claws 1200 Max Flex. They are a nice sturdy rivet, no doubt about that. We'll get those started there, I think, and then we'll get some in the bottom. Make sure they line up. Don't have enough room in the shop. Come on. She's close. Oh yeah, we'll get her. Definitely a challenge to get that one in, so we'll leave it just kind of hanging halfway and start popping these things through. Really want it in there. Turned out pretty good though, and riveting it together, and with the amount of rivets they have in it, I think it'll pull it together very nicely. I need to get something to pound these rivets in. Thinking small socket. Oh, there we go, that's the ticket. That's backwards. Gotta be in there. Not bad. We're gonna tighten them so they don't fall out. This is such a nice thing. Get a rivet. Beautiful. And just like that, with a bunch of messing around, we got this one riveted up, which this one was by far the worst. Now we need to do some welding to this point, and it ripped out a piece of metal where a bolt goes, so we're going to add some sheet metal here, drill our hole when we get the point on, so that all works, and we need to weld a nut in right here, because it's got these like nut certs, kind of like rivets, so you rivet on a nut. I don't have those, so we'll just weld some nuts on. Yeah. This one's all torn apart, ready to get straightened now, and it shouldn't be nearly as bad. Now we're gonna try and get the kink out of here and make this the nice 4 bends again. Worked pretty well last time. I don't know that I'll be able to get this one as nicely, but we'll give it our best shot. I welded this one, like this whole thing had kind of broken off, so it's a bit screwy to start with. But sometimes it helps to bend it past and over and then bring that other piece in. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. I'm just gonna bring this down a bit. That'll be a fun one to get riveted together. I figured the way that this nose cone is cracked, I should probably weld it before I put that inside piece on. This one we're gonna do here, but it's only got one crack on this corner, so it'll be fine. And comparing points, like, I think that is a fairly accurate gap and it all went together nicely. Whereas this is pretty thin, and it's kind of way out from right here. So we'll pry this back and then maybe pound this down a bit. Try and work it out a bit more open. But it's coming along good. I'm definitely impressed. Now we are gonna quickly weld in these pieces of metal so that we can bolt our tip on, because that's where it ripped out. And it's definitely a weak spot. There we go. Just have to do a bit more prep on that one. Now this one we welded up. I'm gonna put a piece in here though as well. It's a beautiful thing. They're all back together in decent shape. Now we need to get them mounted on the header, which the header is also gonna need a bit of work because we've got some stripped out nutserts like this. Oh no, that one's good, but there's some. This one down here is bad, and up here we just got a few bad nuts in there, so we're gonna pound them out and weld in some regular nuts. That one needs more because it pulled out a bunch when the shield buckled, because that shield got way worse. I need to weld 2 nuts in here, one up there, one down here, so we'll get those welded on. Then we'll put this side on, get it all buttoned up nicely, and then we'll turn this thing around and do the other side. Not good. I'll have to weld it from this side just because there's no room, which sucks. Yeah, it's definitely sketchy. We're right at the top of the jackal, but I need to get the corner up because otherwise it sinks below this beam, and I don't have a combine, so we will make do, I'm sure. Let's get this cone on. I gotta figure out which one it is. I think it's this one, actually. Yeah. Perfect. It's been fairly challenging getting this cone to slide over top of this nicely and then line up all the bolts, because it's all still, everything's just a little whack. Bolted together, it's looking good though. That far corner was out, so I'm kind of working my way that way, putting in the bolts and then pulling it over. I am worried about how that main bolt at the back will line up though. Well, that took way longer than I wanted, but we got it fully installed here and it all looks pretty good and straight. This all looks fine. This tip's got a bit of an angle to it, but I think it'll be all right. It's definitely a lot better than it was. Now we just need to drill this hole, put a bolt in here, and then this side's done. Then we gotta do that side. By far the worst part about this header is these Allen head bolts that it uses so that they're round, I guess. A real pain. They suck. But sturdy. It's a really sturdy header. That is really quite a terrible spot for a bolt like that. I don't know, maybe I should weld on just a little shield cover, something like that, so that, because I could see that hitting a bunch of sunflowers and knocking them down as they're going over it. That sucks. Not bad. I found 2 carriage head bolts. I think we'll put these in there and see how well I can get it to hold. Thing turns on a dime. I really like this style header trailer. I think it's very good and they're cheap. And you literally can't beat having front wheels. I hate 30-foot header trailers that don't have a front wheel. There we go. That's some professional backing up right there. As long as I don't hit the van, we'll be good. Oh yeah. Who is this guy? Absolutely dialed, buddy. All right, let's get her in there. This is the side that all the damage happened on. I think all the bolts on the inside is good, but every single one on the outside here ripped off because it really bent this shield bad. So we'll get that straightened up, new nuts welded in there, and then start putting that piece on. Pretty good park job though. It is amazing how badly things build up in here. Gotta dig this thing out because I gotta add or fix a broken bolt on the inside here, which I'm hoping I can reach. On the other side there's a set of weights in the way, and this side looks like the wobble box in the way. Either way, not super accessible. But we'll get it cleaned out and see what we're working with. Needs it anyways. Too bad I don't have a cement floor. It would be easy to clean this up otherwise. Little buddy is always making sure the batteries are charged, which is nice. I don't have much Milwaukee stuff, so I just bought these Chinese batteries and a charger. Works pretty good though. All right, let's get this thing wrapped up. I spent a couple hours last night working on getting this nose cone done, and I finally just kind of got it all put back together. This one was not great because it was so bent up and everything was pulled and warped that it took a lot of work to get the bolt holes lined up, but once I got them lined up, it went together really well, and it is extremely sturdy once again. So we need to drill our last hole for this bolt on this point, and then we just need to tighten up all these pans. They're all a little bit loose now, but it's gone really well. I'm very impressed. Buying new parts for these cones would have been expensive, and that is pretty dialed in straight. I don't know if you remember where it was. Like, this was all the way bent over touching this. There was like no gap in between here. I had to use a chain in the field hooked up to my truck to bend it just to get it going again. But looks good. I'm very happy. We're right around 15 hours in for fixing it up and getting it back to where it needed to be. And another couple hours because we got to tighten some of the bolts and readjust some of these cones. But it's in good shape again, once again. And I really didn't think that this header would survive that. And it's just a testament to how well built these are. I would 100%, now that I've worked through the bugs of this header, buy another one. It is bar none a fantastic pan header. It's great because it's dedicated. It does a better job than converted headers. And I'm super happy. So now we finished it up today. I spent Friday, some of yesterday, some of today working on it. Now we're hopefully going to finish up sunflowers tomorrow.